Okay, first we want to get the pneumatic pressure source on the page. Then let's move on to the next component. This F1 component is a filter. So let's look down. Oh, there's some components. We can see ahead that we have a single acting cylinder. So let's just grab that with the spring. And let's look down. We have an exhaust right here on the 3-port 2-way manual momentary spring return, normally closed valve here. And oh, look, we have also a variable non-return throttle valve. Variable meaning we can set how much air can pass through this orifice. We can set the size of the orifice. Be careful, this is not a pressure relief valve. See, the image is slightly different. The arrow does not line up right away. This is a pressure regulator that we're putting in line. Here's a normally open version of the 3-2-way valve. So let's take that and then we can change the settings to make it normally closed. And we're just looking for common pieces right now so that we don't have to search for them. Here's a flow meter. There's a flow meter on top. FM1, it's going to give us a readout of how much air is flowing through the line at one time during the simulation. Okay, we said we needed an exhaust, but I didn't pull it in. Here's the exhaust. Here's the arrow pointing outwards from the line. I'm going to pull that guy in there. I have a regulator. I need a filter and a lubricator. Filter, separator, lubricator. Oh, here's the filter separator. Let's just match it up with that device and the lubricator. So let's move these guys down. And then let's drag this and let's just connect it right on. Filter, regulator, lubricator. Let's put the exhaust onto that valve. Let's click once, click twice. Now I'm hooked up. And remember, this is normally open and I've got to change that to be normally closed. Let's just pull that guy so it's connected. Connected, let's drag this there so it's in the right spot. And you can drag it away and notice if it's really connected or not. All right, so we've got a pressure source, a filter separator, a pressure regulator, a lubricator. I got my exhaust set up. This is normally open. We're going to change it. I have a variable throttle, non-return. And I got to pay attention because the check ball sits in its seat right here. And the seat is on top in my diagram and it's on top in the instructions for this lab. So the ball will sit against it, and where air comes in, it cannot go past this check ball, but it's forced through the orifice that we can change the value of through the flow meter and into the blank side of the single acting cylinder with a spring return. When the air comes back this way, it can flow through the orifice, but it also can flow past this check ball because it will push the check ball off the seat and flow around it. And we want it to go out to the exhaust when it's coming back. Okay, so let's say this is normally open. Let's do the simulation up here in the top left, play. And now it's normally open, meaning right when I hit play, the pressure regulator is letting air in. It's just open right through that valve, through the orifice, through the flow meter, and it's extending this cylinder. Now we need to change that to match this diagram because this one's normally closed. That spring is going to apply a force and keep it in this pushing to the left, keeping it in the right position here. And so I want to double click on this device and I want to go to technical specifications, and I can change these two boxes and what's inside of them. And I want the left box to look like the right box. So I double click on it and I want it to have a straight arrow through and a plug like this one. Click on it, click the green check mark. Now they match. Now I need to make this one look like this. It has an angle across and a plugged port. Double click on it, looking for an angle across with a plugged port. Right here, angle across, looks like our diagram instructions. Now I have this set up right. It has a manual momentary push button, has a spring return, which means when I'm not pushing on the button, it's going to force it to the left, keep it in the right box here. Okay, we got that set up. That's changed. Now it's normally closed. I hit play. the cylinder will not extend this time. I have to push this button, and it's momentary, so I have to hold the button down. If I let go of the mouse, it'll come back. And there's quite a few things you can change here. In your settings, you can change the stiffness of the spring, which will return it faster. You could change the diameter of this orifice. If I increase it like that, it should extend much faster. See how fast it extends? So you can change that. You can bring it back down. You can also change the regulated pressure. So it's at 5 bar, so I can up it to 13 bar. Then I can see that it will go faster also. And if I do a stronger spring, I'm going to need more pressure to be able to compress that stronger spring. Okay,